What if I told you there's a single global computer that nobody owns but everyone can use? No, that's not science fiction. It's the engine behind a whole new internet, and it's called the Ethereum Virtual Machine. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that is and, more importantly, why it matters so much.
So let's start with that big kind of crazy idea. Just imagine for a second. One single computer for the entire planet. Anyone can use it, but no single person or company owns or controls it. This is the radical concept at the very heart of what we're exploring today.
So how is that even possible? Well, it all starts with what you could call Ethereum's digital brain.
Okay, so here's the official name, the Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM for short. Let's really unpack what that means. Global means it isn't sitting on one server somewhere. It's replicated and run by thousands of computers all around the world. Decentralized means no single company, not even the folks who created Ethereum, can control it. And computing engine? Well, that just means it's the place where all the programs, which we call smart contracts, actually get to run.
At its core, the EVM is what's known as a state machine. Now that sounds super technical, right? But the easiest way to think about it is like a giant shared spreadsheet or a global ledger. The state is just a snapshot of all the data at one moment. Every single transaction creates a new, updated state that everyone on the network agrees on. It's a single, shared source of truth.
If that still sounds a little abstract, don't worry. Probably the best analogy is to think of the EVM as a global vending machine.
Here's how that works. First, you input a smart contract. That's kind of like putting in your money and making your selection. Second, the EVM executes that code, just like the machine worrying and processing your request. And third, a new state is recorded. Your item is dispensed, and the machine's inventory is permanently updated for everyone to see. The outcome is absolutely guaranteed.
And this brings us to the EVM's most important property. It is deterministic. What that means is if you and I input the exact same command, we are guaranteed to get the exact same result, every single time. This predictability is the absolute foundation of trust in the entire system.
So we have this global computer that can run any program. But that raises a pretty big question. What stops someone from writing a malicious program that just runs in an infinite loop, clogging up the entire network forever? Well, every engine needs fuel. That fuel is called gas.
Every single operation the EVM performs, from simple addition to more complex logic, has a cost measured in gas. This is an incredibly clever solution. If someone submits code with an infinite loop, it will simply run until it's out of gas, and then it stops, which protects the entire network.
Now, it's really crucial not to confuse gas with ether or ETH. Gas simply measures the amount of work needed. Think of it like the miles you need to travel on a trip. Ether is the actual currency you use to pay for that work. It's the gasoline you buy for the car. More complex trips cost more gas. Simple as that. And because these fees are often really tiny, they're usually priced in a small fraction of Ether called Gwei. It's just like using cents instead of whole dollars. It just makes things easier.
Okay, so we have a trustworthy, global computer with its own fuel system. The mechanics make sense, but what's the point? What can this machine actually build?
Well, for starters, it's building an entirely new financial system called decentralized finance, or DeFi. You can imagine lending, borrowing, and trading all happening automatically through code, with no banks sitting in the middle.
Next up, non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. You've definitely heard of these. At their core, NFTs are simply a standard for smart contracts running on the EVM that verifiably prove ownership of a unique digital or even physical item. And it also enables DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations. These are like internet-native communities with a shared bank account. All the rules for how the organization spends money or makes decisions are written right into the code, and members vote to direct its actions.
But here's the crucial point that links all of these examples together. Because they are built on the decentralized EVM, they are essentially unstoppable applications. No single entity, not a company, not a government, can just turn them off, censor them, or change the rules. They run exactly as programmed, period. So let's pull all these threads together and look at the bigger picture, what this all means for the future of computation. So, to recap, we started with this massive idea of a world computer. We learned that its predictability is guaranteed, and that gas acts as the fuel to keep it secure and running smoothly.
This simple but powerful foundation has unlocked a whole wave of decentralized apps, and it's become so influential that EVM compatibility is now pretty much the gold standard for new blockchains.
And this brings us to our final thought. We have a neutral, censorship-resistant global computer that is already transforming finance, ownership, and how organizations are run. So the question I want to leave you with is this. If this world computer is unstoppable, what ideas will it run next?